Bunkerking started out with a $15,000 goal on Kickstarter to launch this, and as far as I'm aware, this is a most I guess high-profile Kickstarter for anything in the paintball industry so far. There have been others that have done different Kickstarters, but for at least a somewhat major company that's tied up with Virtue and some distribution and some other areas, it's pretty interesting the way they launched it, and I think it actually built up a lot of hype around it. I myself wasn't really looking for another mask, but $89 for the first 48 hours buy-in, you couldn't pass it up for price of 2 lenses. You get a whole new mask. I figured the worst thing that would happen is I'd have a great loaner mask for a friend or a backup mask, but as it turns out, this thing rocked, and I think it really did live up to the hype. So let's go ahead and talk about some more of it. $15,000, that was a number they wanted. They exceeded that over 10 times. $187,000 by the time the Kickstarter closed. That's incredible. Over 1,500 people ordered from Bunkerkings with it, so that's great. Huge numbers, man, huge. Unbelievable. I thought they might hit 30 with it, but they hit over 100,000 and 150,000. That's incredible. And then the fact that Bunkerkings actually had materials on hand to ship everything was also incredible. When they announced the Kickstarter, they said the R&D was already done, and it was basically just down to assembling and distribution, which is pretty awesome. It's pretty far in development. It's very expensive to bring masks to market. We've seen the Angel Eyes teas for a couple times and gone away, but Bunkerkings partnered with Virtue a couple years back, and looks like they're continuing their partnership. This is based off the Vio lens system, which is a pretty good lens system. Personally, myself, I never really cared for the Vio. It was too small, and they came out with the Extend. It just wasn't really looking like anything I wanted to buy. A couple friends had them. They all liked them, but it was kind of just a run-of-the-mill mask. It really wasn't worth what they were asking for it, and nothing to get excited about. Whereas the Command mask, lots of huge promises about breathability, anti-fog, communicate, and being able to see better on it. Had to check it out. So when it arrived in the box, man, I thought the box was empty, and I know I wasn't the only one. Incredibly light mask. And I think it was one of the first 2,000 to sign up too. I don't remember exactly where it was at in the sign up process, but I got the special strap for it too. But I don't really care for that. I'm just going to keep the stock one on this one because it's the Sherwood Gunner. It fits it. I like it. Comes with a mask bag for it. But each one was custom tailored. The artwork was custom tailored. The straps are all unique to the type of goggle system combo on there. And for me, this one fit the jersey a little bit more than any of the other ones. So that's why I picked that one. I did wish it had the mirrored lens on this one, or a smoke lens, but whatever. So their claims about being fog proof. I live in Southern California. There's almost no way I can test this unless it's out actually raining. It's very rare we get fog unless it's actively raining. But breathability, without even getting on the field, you put this mask on, and it's just incredible. You breathe right through it. You put the EVS on, you get choked out. And with my beard, the EVS and I just don't mix well for that. It's some heavy breathing, labored breathing. I love the goggle system. I love the way it feels on my face, but it echoes. The EVS echoes like crazy, and I can't freaking breathe in it. E-Flex, I loved it. It was huge. It fit my head. But this mask, man, it's toast. Soft ears are all. The strap is done. I replaced the foam on it 3 times. I've just used it a ton, and rather than pumping in more money into it, I decided to try the EVS, the newer lens style. Love the field of view here, but again, it echoes and it just chokes you out. So back to the Command. That's what that video's on. That's what this video's about. The Command mask, it definitely hits it in the breathing category. You put it on, you run around the field, your breathing is not obstructed at all. So for me, that lives up to the hype, absolutely. I can't test the anti-fog, but just based on the breathability, I think it's going to be lower. Now I will tell you, get a little bit out of order here, but some users were talking about the foam not sitting flush on their nose, and Max from Bunkerkings came back and said make sure the mask is a little bit lower, it should be seated, and make sure it's tighter. So make sure you tighten the strap so it's actually seated on your nose. Definitely want to make sure you do that so it doesn't fog or have potential to fog. And then they were talking about being able to breathe, see, and communicate. So we know it breathes. For vision, I will tell you the lens is just incredible quality. It was a gloomy day on Sunday when we went out, and you put the lens on. Of course, this is like the orange color, so it's almost like you go into the shooting range. You put the yellow goggles on or glasses on. Same type of deal. It works very well in the low light conditions and gloomy day. Brightens everything up, and it's crystal clear vision. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to try smoked or a mirrored lens, and I think I'm going to order the gold mirrored lens. And these lenses are different than the Vial lens. So dimensionally they're the same. They're interchangeable with the Vial lens, but they're supposed to be a lot higher quality material. It's supposed to be based off of polycarbonate with a bunch of different layers on it. Anti-fog, anti-scratch, you name it. But vision quality is supposed to be best on the market. And then communicate. So, breathe, see. I think it hit the mark on all those so far. But communicate. There is no echo when I put this thing on, none whatsoever. I had nothing coming back into my ears. I was able to yell out to everybody. I tested it out in the garage at first and was just shouting in my garage. My neighbors probably think I'm crazy, but no echo. EVS, I'm deaf after a tournament. Yelling out positions all the time, S1, D2, and just right back in your ears. So you can hear with the mask and you can communicate steadily. So I think it hit the mark on all three promises. Pretty impressed on that end. I will tell you, while you can see great through the lens is not the biggest one. When you have it on, you can kind of see the foam at the bottom of it. So its field of vision is not the best on the market, but the lens quality itself is very good. Micro visor. So this mask, when they came out, they were talking about micro visor. They said the other visors are too big, too bulky, which I agree with. They're great in the rain when you need them. I always have a couple extras. I have an extra one for the one day a year it rains in Southern California for my EVS, but with my GoPro mount, I can't even put the damn thing on. So micro visor for me, I like that aspect. And if you look right here, the nose sticks out on the command. And so it's sticking out comboed with the micro visor. It can't be scratched by it being dropped. You will not hit the lens. There's a nice enough gap there, even if there's uneven road surface, it's still not going to scratch it. So some very smart design choices. Lots of different unique stuff about this mask. A couple people were bitching about the material. So let's get into some things people have said already, comments online. Some people don't like the looks of it. You hear this with every goggle system that hits the market. You either like it, you don't. Some of them you're not too fussed about. I personally believe every mask has some good angles. Straight ahead, I'm not so fussed about it. But from the side, 3/4 shot, I think it looks really good. Side profile looks really good. And then somebody else pointed out that the Bunkerkings logo is in the actual venting, which is, I didn't realize it either, but I thought it was pretty damn funny. People bitched about the material. It's a good rubber material, so it is more movable than, say, like the Flex material that's a hard rubber. So yeah, flexible mask. I don't think it's going to flex enough where you can get a fat lip like some of the Flexes. Man, the good old days, man, you get hit with your JT Pro Flex and up with a fat lip. When I first started playing, there were no bottoms. We had the goggles, that's all we had, and people are bitching about, oh, you might get some paint through here with all this breathability. But it's actually small enough holes in the mask that you're probably not going to get a lot of shell coming through there. I still think I'd rather have that than, say, a Pro Flex bottom where you're going to get a fat lip from a thunk. And again, no hate on my end from the Pro Flex. I love a Pro Flex, but the problem is it just does not fit on my big fat head well enough for me to really want to keep that. So E-Flex for me was just enough larger. I love the bottoms on those guys for breathability, but E-Flex lens system to me was a better compromise than the Pro Flex. You know, what I found on this mask, I found it was lightweight. I found it did not echo. I found it breathed really well, and I found that the lens was amazing for low light conditions that I had out there. Again, I don't have a smoke lens. I don't have a mirrored lens to see how that is, and looking to get one of those for our very sunny Southern California days because I don't want to get blinded or near blinded. But love the lens, very good quality seeing through it. No echo, lightweight. I mean, you barely feel like the thing's on your face. It's incredible. So I really like it. Let's get into some of the cons on this bad boy. So some people were upset that it's a one-piece material or one-piece system. You don't have the actual lens and separate bottoms. You know, you can swap shit out. And some people really like that. For me, I don't really care. It never bothered me. Yeah, I pick the color I want, and I don't mess with it from there. But everybody likes to customize, do whatever. So whether or not that's a detriment to the mask, you know, that's up to personal preference. But for me, it does not bother me at all. A little bit wider than what you might think. So looking at it from this angle, you can kind of see it sticks out a little bit. Now, when it's on your mask, you don't realize it at all. It doesn't feel that way. Yeah, it's just there. It's just the way it is. It's for the lens lock system. All right, so to wrap it up, the Command mask, for those that got it in a Kickstarter for 89 bucks, it's a great value. Retail, I think it's going to go for 170 bucks. Still not bad. If you need a mask that breathes, doesn't echo, this is your mask. Past that, you need to make sure it's going to fit your head right. But even with my huge forehead, you know, put a headband on and there's no worry about, you know, exposure there. So while it still left a little bit of room, it was not a big deal for me, not going to be a deal breaker. And I think this is actually going to be my new mask going forward, just because of the amount of breathability this thing has. It's incredible. Again, I love it. No echo. I think it lived up to the hype. Curious to see what other people think about it, because again, everybody has a different face, live in different climates, and curious how the anti-fog aspect turns out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you soon. That was a beard there, guys. I tried to hide it behind my mirror lens, but don't tell anybody.